late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the 42nd floor of the Manhattan office building as 35-year-old Michael Chen stepped off the elevator. His dark hair was perfectly styled, and his charcoal gray suit spoke of boardroom meetings and million-dollar decisions. As the CEO of TechFlow Solutions, Michael was accustomed to commanding respect and maintaining absolute control over his professional environment. He had returned to retrieve some forgotten documents, expecting to find his corner office empty and pristine. The cleaning staff wasn't scheduled until evening, and his assistant had left hours ago. But as he approached his office door, he noticed something unusual, a soft glow emanating from within. Michael's jaw tightened. Security was paramount in his line of work, and unauthorized access to his office was unthinkable. He quickened his pace, already mentally drafting the stern conversation he would have with building security. But when he reached his doorway, Michael stopped short. There, seated at his mahogany desk with her back to him, was a young woman in a powder blue cleaning uniform. Her platinum blonde hair was pulled back in a neat ponytail, and she wore yellow cleaning gloves that seemed oddly out of place as her fingers moved rapidly across his computer keyboard. For a moment, Michael was too stunned to speak. Then anger flared hot in his chest. "What exactly do you think you're doing?" he demanded, his voice sharp with authority. The young woman spun around in his chair, her blue eyes wide with shock and fear. She couldn't have been more than 25, with delicate features and a face that spoke of intelligence. Despite her obvious terror at being discovered, "Mr. Chen?" she gasped, jumping to her feet so quickly that the chair rolled backward. I can explain. You can explain why you're using my personal computer without authorization?" Michael's voice was ice cold as he stepped into the office. "Do you have any idea what kind of confidential information is stored on that machine?" The young woman, her name tag read Jessica, stood with her hands clasped in front of her, her cleaning supplies forgotten on the floor beside the desk. "Sir, I wasn't looking at your files." "I would never do that. I was just what?" Michael moved around the desk, his eyes scanning the computer screen to assess what damage might have been done. But what he saw there made him pause mid-sentence. Lines of elegant code filled the monitor. Not just any code, but sophisticated programming that addressed a problem his development team had been struggling with for weeks. The solution was brilliant in its simplicity, elegant in its execution. Michael's anger evaporated, replaced by confusion and something approaching wonder. "You wrote this?" Jessica nodded slowly, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have used your computer. I was cleaning your office and I saw the code on your screen from earlier. I noticed there was an issue with the algorithm and I couldn't help myself." Michael sank into the chair opposite his desk, studying the young woman before him with new eyes. "You understood what you were looking at?" "I have a computer science degree from MIT, Jessica said quietly, her cheeks flushing with what might have been pride or embarrassment. "I graduated summa cum laude 3 years ago." "MIT?" Michael leaned back, processing this revelation. "Then what are you doing cleaning offices?" Jessica's expression grew pained, and she looked out the floor-to-ceiling windows at the city skyline. "Student loans," she said simply. "My parents couldn't afford to help with college, so I borrowed everything. The debt payments are substantial. I've been applying for programming positions, but most companies want experience I don't have. The few interviews I've gotten, they take one look at my resume and see the gap, where I should have been working in tech." She paused, her voice growing softer. "It's hard to explain why you've been cleaning offices instead of writing code. People make assumptions." Michael felt something shift in his chest, a recognition of struggle that reminded him of his own early days. His immigrant parents had worked multiple jobs to support his education, and he'd never forgotten the weight of their sacrifices. "Show me what you did here," he said gently, gesturing toward the computer screen. Jessica hesitated, then moved to the desk, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. Your team was trying to optimize the data processing algorithm, but they were approaching it from the wrong angle. Instead of trying to make the existing structure faster, I redesigned it entirely. As she explained her solution, Michael watched her transform. The frightened cleaning woman disappeared, replaced by a confident programmer who spoke with passion and precision about recursive functions and database optimization. Her eyes lit up as she demonstrated how her code could reduce processing time by nearly 40%. This is remarkable work, Michael said when she finished. You solved in an hour what my team has been working on for weeks. Jessica's smile was radiant, but it faded quickly. I'm sorry I used your computer without permission. I know it was wrong. I'll gather my things and go. Wait, Michael said, standing up. Don't go anywhere. He moved to the window, looking out at the city where thousands of people were struggling to build better lives, just as he once had. Jessica, can I ask you something personal? She nodded, though her expression remained wary. When you're cleaning these offices at night, do you ever look at the work people leave on their desks? The problems they're trying to solve? Jessica's cheeks reddened. Sometimes. I know I shouldn't, but I can't help myself. I see code and my brain starts working on it automatically. It's like seeing a puzzle that's missing pieces. Michael turned back to her and his expression was thoughtful. My grandmother used to tell me that talent is like a seed. It doesn't matter where it's planted, in rich soil or poor, it will find a way to grow if it's given the chance. He paused, remembering the woman who had raised him while his parents worked. She cleaned offices too, you know. Worked nights so she could take care of me during the day. She used to say that honest work was nothing to be ashamed of, but wasted talent was a tragedy. Jessica's eyes widened as she processed his words. I have a proposition for you, Michael continued. My company is launching a new mentorship program. We're looking for exceptional programmers who've taken unconventional paths to get where they are. People who understand that success isn't just about talent. It's about perseverance and the willingness to keep learning, even when the circumstances aren't ideal. He sat back down, his voice taking on a businesslike tone while maintaining its warmth. The position comes with a competitive salary, full benefits, and a commitment to pay off your student loans over the next 5 years. In exchange, you'd work with our development team and help us identify other talented individuals who might be overlooked by traditional hiring practices. Jessica stared at him, her mouth slightly open. Are you offering me a job? I'm offering you a career, Michael corrected gently. The question is whether you're ready to stop cleaning up other people's messes and start creating solutions of your own. Tears began to form in Jessica's eyes, but she blinked them back. Why would you do this for me? You don't even know me. Michael smiled, and for the first time that day it reached his eyes. Because 15 years ago, I was a young programmer working in a restaurant kitchen to pay my bills. A customer overheard me explaining to the cook how the restaurant's ordering system could be improved. That customer happened to be a tech executive, and he took a chance on me. He gestured around the opulent office. Everything I have now started with someone seeing potential, where others saw only circumstances. It's time I pass that gift forward. Jessica wiped her eyes with the back of her hand, careful not to smudge her makeup. I don't know what to say. Say you'll start Monday, Michael replied. And Jessica, bring your MIT transcript. I want to frame it and hang it in our lobby, next to our mission statement about recognizing talent wherever it's found. As Jessica gathered her cleaning supplies for the last time, Michael watched her, with a sense of satisfaction that had nothing to do with profit margins or quarterly reports. Sometimes, he reflected, the most important business decisions weren't made in boardrooms or conference calls. They were made in quiet moments when you chose to see the person behind the circumstances. Mr. Chen? Jessica paused at the door. Thank you. Not just for the job, but for seeing me. Really seeing me. Michael nodded, understanding exactly what she meant. We all deserve to be seen for who we are, not just what we appear to be. Welcome to the team, Jessica. I have a feeling you're going to change everything. As she left, Michael turned back to his computer screen, studying the elegant code that would soon revolutionize their entire system. Tomorrow, he would introduce Jessica to the development team as their new lead programmer. He would tell them her story with her permission and challenge them to look beyond resumes and credentials to find the hidden talent that might be walking among them every day. Outside his windows, the city lights began to twinkle as evening approached. Somewhere out there, other brilliant minds were probably working jobs that didn't reflect their true capabilities, waiting for someone to give them a chance. Michael made a mental note to expand the mentorship program even further. His grandmother had been right about talent being like a seed, but she'd also taught him something else, that the gardener who helps that seed grow is blessed just as much as the seed itself. Tonight, Michael understood exactly what she meant.